Hey, this is Commander Bacon
And Shelly.
with His Way Homestead, and today we got a special southern treat for you. This my beautiful bride here, my beautiful, beautiful bride is gonna show you the proper way to make grits. Not instant grits, real grits, the right way.
The only way.
The only way. Stay tuned.
Okay, so early on in our YouTube days, which was a couple months ago, someone asked if I would do a video explaining how to make grits. And there are good ways and bad ways to make grits. If you don't know how to make grits, don't make grits. So today I'm going to show you how to do it, how I do it. Grits should be really creamy. They should not be gritty after it's cooked. All right, so I'm gonna start with, these are stone ground grits.
What is grits?
Corn.
It's ground up corn.
And this is non-genetically modified corn.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because we don't like genetically modified food here. We don't like chemicals in our food. We like real food.
An Old School brand is not a sponsor, although we're not opposed to that.
Yeah, so this is where we're starting. Good grits. I mean, you can just buy regular old store-bought grits. Don't buy instant grits ever. But any kind of grits will do. I like stone ground. And it has directions on the back. Okay?
We'll post a picture of that.
But we're not going to go by it.
Oh, snap.
We're not going to make a whole lot of changes, but the key to my grits is it calls for 4 cups of water, so I do half of that in milk. So I'm doing 2 cups of milk, 2 cups of water. I just mix that together, throw it in a pot. We've got 1 cup of grits. All right, and we're gonna let the water, the water and the milk just get to a simmer. You don't want to boil milk. So once it gets to a simmer, we're going to add the grits and we'll show you what to do next.
All right, while she's doing that, I'm going to be frying up some bacon on the griddle. So let me get that situated and I'll tell you how I do it. So actually I set the temperature about between 300 and 350. Don't want to cook it too fast. I don't like burnt bacon. It's got to be somewhere between crunchy and chewy. That's the perfect combination. And with a name like Commander Bacon, I know how to do bacon right. So stay tuned.
So our milk and water are to a simmer. See, we have little bubbles at the top. Again, I do not want this at a boil. So I'm just going to stir in our grits. And the instructions on the package say to turn the heat down and let it cook for 20 to 25 minutes, stirring occasionally. Now, that's all well and good if you just want normal, average, ordinary grits. If you want good grits, you want to go ahead and put the lid on, turn it down, but you want to stir it often. That's what makes the grits creamy, is stirring it more often. We're going to add some salt. I'm sure it tells you how much, but you know what? I'm a Southern cook, and this is how we measure. And I like grits to be salty, not sweet, so we're not even going to ask Commander Bacon what he does with his grits. We're not going to talk about it. So salt in there. We might even add some cheese later, make some good cheese grits. So we're just going to go ahead and put the lid on this. Let it cook. You do have to watch it. Don't put your lid on tight. If you see that's already boiling, and I've got this below medium heat. This will boil over if you're not paying attention. So I'm going to keep turning it down until I get a steady, slow simmer. And again, I'm going to come back every few minutes, not occasionally, every few minutes, and stir this. All right, back to the bacon.
Thanks, Shelly. Now we'll get back to the bacon. So we've got the griddle on, it's heating up, and I'm going to sit you in the tripod. And let's see if we can do this without disturbing too many people. All right, so we've got King Cotton bacon. My top preferred bacon is Wright bacon because if it says right, it can't be wrong. Okay, that's not their slogan. That's one I made up. They should use it. All right. A lot of times what we'll do, if you're doing it in a pan, I'll cut the bacon strips in half. We're not going to do that because we're on the griddle. Make sure your hands are washed and clean. I licked mine very clean earlier, so we're good to go. And you can see the griddle's hot. Might be a little too hot. Ooh, hear that bacon sizzle? Mmm. That's delicious. And as usual, the perfect number of slices on the griddle. So I'm gonna wash my hands because raw bacon's kind of slimy, kind of greasy. All right. So one of the keys to making bacon not burnt, not too crispy, not too chewy, somewhere in the middle, is I like to flip it often. And I'll just use a fork. So we'll stay tuned and I'll show you how this progresses. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Oh, that is awesome. Hear the sizzle? Smell it? I wish you guys could smell this. This is so good. So anyway, so I started putting the bacon on this side. So I'm going to start flipping it on this side. Right? And it's not done. It's just starting to get cooked, right? But if you do this, if you flip it often, I've found it makes it better. It could be just a waste of time, but it's how I do it. If y'all do something different, let me know. And in the comments below, be glad to hear it. Always enjoy comments about bacon and how you do bacon and everything else. Now, I've got some curlicues here, so I'll just push that down with a fork for a little bit. And hopefully that'll stay. But it might not. And if that's the case, we've got a way to deal with that too, with a bacon press. Don't want to get that out, and we don't have to. So you can see it kind of settled down. Just have to let that bacon know who's boss. Mm-hmm. All right. First flip, we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned.
Okay, so here we are. We are about 10 minutes into cooking. And you can see this is thickened up really, really nicely. And I guess you can't see where the stove is. I've got this on low now because anything above low and it's gonna boil up and it pops grits all over my stove and it's really hard to clean up and I don't want to do all that. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like halfway through. Now a minute ago I'd walked away to find a container to store the rest of the grits in, and I came back and I could feel that it was starting to make just a little bit of a film on the bottom of the pot. So again, I went in and stirred it really well to get that up, make sure that nothing burns or overcooks on the bottom. If you're not careful, if you don't stir it often, it will burn, and then you've lost your grits. So stir, stir, stir.
Okay, so the first round of bacon is just about complete, and what I'm going to do, let me get a plate. Paper towels. bacon can be greasy. You don't want to eat grease. Not a whole lot of grease. But you want to save your bacon grease to fry your eggs in. So I think the key for me is take it off before you really think it's done. If you wait, it'll overcook it. So this is still pretty flexible. It's not crispy burnt yet. We'll just take it off. It'll firm up while it's on the paper towels, for sure. Just, I think we're gonna flip these a little bit more. Sometimes there's hot spots on your griddle. Some places are hotter than others. And if I'm doing a lot of bacon, what I'll do, I'll end up marching the bacon down this way, and then that way every piece of bacon hits the same spot on the griddle. So we'll slide these up in here. You know, of course, bacon shrinks, right? When that fat starts rendering out of it, it shrinks it up. So that's kind of where we're at. It's getting done. Stay tuned for more grits and bacon. Okay, so I forgot to mention a couple things. King Cotton's not a sponsor. Wish they were. Right Bacon, not a sponsor. Wish they were. And the other sponsor I wish we had was Golden Flake Potato Chips, proud sponsor of Alabama college football. Roll Tide.
I just took the lid off. I wanted to show you. See how it boils up? It just kind of pops because this is so thick. And again, I have my stove completely on low. But this is about ready. I tasted it just a minute ago to make sure. You want to make sure your grit is cooked. And it's just about there. It needed some more salt, so I went ahead and added that. Always taste your food. Always, always.
Brown food tastes better.
Yes, brown food tastes better, but not grits. So we're going to add some butter. And if you look at the directions on the package of this, it says to add margarine. Don't add margarine to your food.
Margarine's nasty. It's plastic.
Don't buy margarine.
Butter.
Buy butter, real butter.
Butter's better.
The ingredients should say cream and salt. Okay, that's it. So now we're going to add some cheese because I want cheese grits. And this is a pretty big pot of grits. This will last a long time, especially since I'm basically the only one that eats it around here. I mean, Doug will every now and then.
I'll eat it with sugar on it.
Yeah, he adds sugar, which is not allowed in my kitchen. So he has to go somewhere else if he's going to put sugar on grits. He's not going to ruin my grits with sugar. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Cheesy grits.
And at this point, you can go ahead and turn the fire completely off. Put the lid on it and just kind of let it sit and steam. That'll continue cooking the grits so that you don't have anything gritty in there. And that's about it.
All right, back to bacon. Woohoo! So we've got all the bacon that was left in the package on the griddle now. We're in process of finishing up cooking all of it. I'm flipping more, flipping. Flip your bacon. Ow! Ow! That hurt. Bacon will splatter. Never fry bacon naked. It'll burn things that shouldn't be burnt. All right, some more of these are done. Let me take this one off. The Queen of the Egg machine has already been sampling it. We'll do a little taste sample here in a second. Flip these, get them all up higher on the griddle. Let that beautiful bacon grease go down in our catch pan. We definitely want to save that.
He does cook really good bacon.
How's the bacon?
It's good.
It's good bacon.
But I cook it the complete opposite of the way he does it. I put it on there.
The wrong way.
No, not the wrong way. A different way.
Not the best way.
I put it on there and I leave it. I don't flip it back and forth, mainly because I have other things to do. While he's just cooking bacon, I have to do everything else, of course. So I put it on there. It is good. And I'll leave it
taste test.
until it's until it's cooked pretty good on that side, and then I flip it. Cook the other side. Set your happy face.
Bacon makes you smile.
And then I flip it one more time before I take it off. And that's it. And I cook mine crispier than his. So he doesn't particularly love it whenever I cook it because I make it too crispy. But anyway.
This is so good.
More than one way to cook a pig, just in case you're wondering.
There's lots of ways to cook a pig. I love every part of a pig. I've never met a pig I didn't like to eat.
What about the tail?
Oh, you can eat the
Feet?
tail.
I know you can, but do you love it?
If that's all I had to eat, yeah, I'd eat it. I'd love it. Except chitlins. No, chitlins for me.
So now our grits is finished. The bacon is almost finished, and I wanted to show you the next step. See that little grease container? Has a handy dandy lid. This is where we keep the bacon grease. It just lives out on the countertop. So now we're going to fry our eggs.
We got eggs. We got duck eggs.
We have duck eggs, we have chicken eggs, we have quail eggs. You can have your choice of what kind of egg you want.
I like duck eggs.
I'm cooking yours first, so you want duck?
Yeah, one duck and 2 chickens.
All right, 1 duck, 2 chickens. So I just kind of swirl the grease around in the pan. I come underneath the sink and open the cabinet there because we have a compost bin. Let me see if I can you see it?
Compost, eggshells.
Yeah.
Go in the compost.
Eggshells, coffee,
Coffee grounds.
all that good stuff. All right, so let's get our duck egg first. I always put the duck egg on first because it's bigger and it takes longer to cook. So it goes first. Chicken egg. He likes his eggs over medium most of the time. And he likes toast with it so he can dip up the yolk with his toast.
But you never heard of that before we got married.
No, I never heard of that.
But you like it.
I do like eating it that way now. But just for the record, this is kind of an out of the ordinary breakfast for us.
This is a big breakfast.
Yeah. I know it looks like I'm salting this a lot, but it's really not. And this is mineral salt, but they're really big and they don't come through the hole well, so you really have to shake it to get it on in. So normally, here, let's look, so you can see who you're talking to, who I'm talking to. Normally, we do not eat grits. They're a special occasion food because they are so high in carbs. And whenever you add the butter, the milk, and the cheese, they're high in fat and calories too. So, grits.
She ate my bacon.
Grits is something we don't have very often. In fact, I want to have, move, you're in my way.
You're gonna fix my toast.
I sealed up the rest of the package in a food saver bag because I won't use it again for several months probably. I put the label in there. Also has the instructions. It's bent over so you can't see it, but this is airtight and will last a long time. So we don't usually have grits. I don't have toast. He has toast because try not to do carbs because carbs are bad. Not really. Carbs are not bad. We're not going to say that. But I try to limit my carbs. So back to the eggs. We'll just give you a whole little egg instruction here. Let me find my flipper. It was moved. Yeah.
This is a whole breakfast video.
Yeah, breakfast video.
Country breakfast with His Way Homestead.
So I'll wait to get a lot of that white cooked. I'm gonna run around the sides a little bit. And since we're videoing this, it will probably break the yolks. If we weren't videoing, it would not break the yolks.
She almost never breaks the yolk. I always break the yolk.
It's taken a lot of practice because I never really cooked eggs like this either. Until I married him.
You were going to say a Yankee, didn't you?
I didn't say Yankee.
You were going to say it.
I might have thought it, but I didn't say it.
Not a Yankee.
He is a Yankee. Well, he's not anymore. I've converted him. But whenever we first met, he certainly talked like a Yankee, which is what constitutes a Yankee. I don't care where you're from.
Now I don't talk like a Yankee at all. Appreciate y'all.
All right, you see how those eggs are almost set? This one right here has a little bit to go, but I'm pulling the duck egg kind of off the flame a little bit. And usually I'm not this particular with it. Usually I'm kind of in a hurry and just cooking it and not worrying about it too much. But since I'm showing you, I guess I'll do it right. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip. I'm gonna loosen it and make sure there's nothing stuck under there. Because that one is the loosest, I'm gonna, oh look, I didn't even flip it and that one already broke. I knew that would happen. Gently flip it, or not, just change you didn't see that.
Need a plate.
Yep, and so I just do it like that and I turn it off and I let it sit for a minute. Now for me, I do not like brown eggs at all. Do not like it brown.
Yeah, and you don't have to leave it sit long on the top side.
No, but that one was pretty loose, so. Again, fire's turned off. I usually just scramble my eggs. Every now and then I'll cook them like this, but not often. Flip it back over because that's the way my picky husband likes it. So he has two good eggs and one broken one. And you want grits? You're not gonna eat grits. Separate bowl. All right, we'll fix him a separate bowl of grits. He can add bacon and we'll show you what breakfast looks like.
All right, I'm just putting the finishing touches on the last 3 pieces. My bride likes it a little crispier, so I'm gonna make it a little crispier just for her, because I love her. Right?
Sure, yeah.
So that sounded convincing. Stay tuned. So I got all the bacon done. The griddle's turned unplugged, but before it cools off completely, this is how I like to clean the griddle. I take a flat spatula and I just kind of squeegee it, all the bacon grease down to the catch container hole. Okay? And that helps, it makes it easier to clean the rest of the griddle later on. And you can see, you can just kind of squeegee it in there. This is a plastic spatula. Don't leave it on there too long. You will melt it. Okay? That's what we do with that. And let me get the bacon grease. The bacon grease container. Woohoo! We're gonna gently slide this backwards. And the best part about bacon grease is when you get a lot of that bacon crumbles in there. That is awesome.
I'll have to move the plants off the table so we can eat breakfast.
So this is super, super hot. So be careful with it. Don't want to spill this on you. And we're just going to take it up here and dump it in the bacon grease. Woohoo! Look at that. We about doubled our quantity of bacon grease, which in the South, that's like liquid gold. And see all these little burnt crumbly thingies in there? That adds flavor. You want that in there too. Set that aside. Let's see if you can Might be easier to pick this up. Look at that. Is that awesome? Bacon grease is awesome. You can do so many things with bacon grease. We'll talk about that probably in a future video. Stay tuned. All right, so here's what our breakfast looks like.
That's what his breakfast looks
That's
like.
what my breakfast looks like.
And grits on the side.
And this, grits on the side. Normally when I go out to eat, when we're not in quarantine, I order sausage, not bacon. Why? What? Commander Bacon orders sausage? Yeah, because you know what? Most of the time they don't do bacon right. Or thin little strips of nothingness. And I feel like I'm not getting full, so sausage has a lot more bulk to it, and I like. It's still a pig. It's still pork. It's still good.
You know, from over here, they can see all the junk everywhere in our kitchen.
Don't look! Don't look at all our junk.
That's all I can see in this video is all the stuff that needs to be cleaned up. It's
Yeah.
time to eat.
We live in our house. Anyway, thanks for dropping by. Glad you could make it. I hope this was entertaining. I hope that you learned something about making grits and frying bacon and making eggs. So until next time, don't forget, His way is the best way. God bless. See you later.